Circumcised, it's fine.
But anyway, I just want to say that for a long time I didn't have Sarah. I mean, Sarah was there, but we were distant. I mean, perhaps it was some choices that I had made as well as choices she'd made, but I'd lost Sarah for a while. But now Simon has given me my Sarah back.
Well done. Well done.
My name is Richard O'Brien, but if you're from Watford Tax Office, I'm Daphne O'Hara. Now, the more perceptive of you may know that I don't have a speech. Now, unfortunately, my speech is lying on the kitchen table. The cab came early. But I have to tell you, it was brilliant. You don't know what you've missed. But, you know, I'm carrying on regardless. I understand the captain of the Titanic had a similar philosophy. Right, so,
we're on water anyway.
I've known Sarah since she was 12, and that's when I moved in with Jill. And I remember at the time when I moved in with Jill, I thought, though I come from a big family, I've never really had direct responsibility for a child, so I thought I ought to take this seriously. So I started to read up about it. I remember reading this one book, and it said, you must treat your children like your friends. And I thought, oh, that can't be right. How many of your friends come round, empty your fridge, throw their clothes on the floor and demand 20 quid?
That's all right.
But I needn't have worried because I didn't manage Sarah. Sarah managed me. And it's been an absolute privilege for me to be involved with really all these sort of events in Sarah's life, from the sort of parents' nights at the school, to going off to university, to leaving home, and now at her wedding. It's been an absolute joy. She's always treated me just the same as if I was a blood relative, and I've always been proud of her. I'm going to well up in a minute. But it's just been an absolute pleasure, and she's just been wonderful to me. And I think she's changed me as a person. I think I'm a better person for knowing her. And I get to Simon. Now, now, I always think that both Jill and I are people, we can socialise with most people. You know, okay, if you want to talk about nuclear physics, we might struggle. But the second time we met Simon, he fell asleep. So we thought, is our company that riveting?
I had an all-nighter, I'm sorry.
A friend of ours asked me to describe Simon, and I said, well, the best way I can describe it is the male version of Sarah. And I have to say, I can't pay you any greater compliment.
No, I take that as a complete answer.
So I just think they've enriched our lives. They've brought us all together. People of varying backgrounds and cultures. They've brought us all together, and I wish them much joy in their life together. And I just love them very much.
Until, and this was the weird thing, after he finished dusting the lounge and sweeping the floor.
I'm reformed.
There's only one reason I know for my brother to clear up his room, and that's to get his deposit back. Messy isn't really a word that actually applied to the room that Simon grew up in. It was less a bedroom, more landfill. It actually did defy physics. It was where other people's possessions went to die. If you did lose something in the early 80s, there is every chance that it was in there. And I'm also including in that much of the dark matter that scientists are still looking for today. There is an upside to that, though. I mean, you know, when I am thinking about the man that I know to be my brother, and I hope we can still find, if you look at the mess that there was left, when we lived together, it was always possible to find him. And even actually piece together precisely what he'd done, minute by minute, simply by following the fag butts around the house. Seeing him with such an amazingly wonderful person as Sarah, I did hesitate to call the police, I've got to say. It could just be a very clever cover-up. He has always been very wise. We do know that because he graffitied it all over his ceiling. For about 2 years, him, his friends, and people who'd simply woken up amongst the debris on the floor would be encouraged to write the thoughts on their ceiling at the end of a long night's celebrations. One particular favourite, one gem sticks in my mind, scrawled in the lighter smoke across your white ceiling. Life is the toast. You are the butter. Repeat until unconscious.
I remember that. Very wise words.
Now, this man is a fine member of society. But my brother has always been a shady operator. My parents, I don't think, even still know this today. Maybe they do. But when the photo in the leaflet was taken, they were all, the entire family were going on holiday somewhere Simon didn't want to go to. They obviously refused to let him stay in the house alone. So he negotiated money for his trip, his family holiday, his own holiday to Scotland. He left home when they set off, waited round the corner, and walked straight back in the minute they left to organise a party with all his friends. A week later, he staged his return from Scotland. And the best thing is, he even proceeded to smoke an endless supply of roll-ups in front of them using an exciting new strain of Scottish herbs. He may look elegant and sophisticated here in front of us, and has definitely found a dream girl in Sarah. But good taste has long eluded my real brother. Obviously, please refer to the photo for proof. His advances have not always been appreciated by the women he's chosen.
Oh, thank you, yeah. Maybe out to be some sort of sexual stalker.
No, the first girl you asked out was in fact a lesbian. And his seduction techniques have been particularly excruciating. I do have crucial evidence which may later be relied on, and it comes from an old flatmate who's just sitting over there. And this is going to be tricky because I need to read.
Thank you, Richard.
I didn't need to plug.
I didn't seduce Richard. You're not a lesbian. That's what he told me.
I've got to see if I can sort this out because I was going to do this from the speaker over there. Right, it might work. I think it will. Okay, I'm going to attempt to do this. Listening upstairs to the sounds coming up from Simon's room one morning. He heard Simon,
you evil man.
woo
Evil
he
man.
heard him woo his special lady with this particular mix. Remember, this was to get her in the mood.
That was my Raising James.
Can anyone actually hear that? No, does it work? Yeah. Okay, now that was closely followed by this. Now, obviously,
Simon, it's all on video. Don't worry.
Thank you very much, Timothy.
obviously, I dread to beat what's
You can always cut it out.
And my heart goes out to you, Sarah.
Director's cuts.
Yeah.
I can't turn this off.
Turn it off, please.
Hang on, I'm doing my
No more Chris
best.
diarrhea.
Please. Now, his culinary tastes were equally shameful, to be honest. Sarah has not only introduced him to food, but actual entire food groups. For 10 years, he was able to exist purely on 3 items: pasta, potatoes, and cheese,
And butter.
or any combination of them.
Potatoes. Exactly.
I mentioned potatoes. They were
My
there.
dowry, where is it?
Well, to be honest, it's not quite fair. He has admitted once to experimenting with the leftovers in his cupboard. What he made was chocolate pasta.
My very first Christmas out of home.
Sarah is an amazing, intelligent, beautiful person who we are all way richer for having in our family. And I genuinely mean that the love you both share is probably bigger than any other human couple. It's quite extraordinary. I mean, at least if you go by your Facebook messages, which is very likely. Which is very likely when the Chinese government attempted to ban the internet last year. And it may well be possible, and in some ways I hope it is, that you have transformed my brother's very genetic makeup into the upstanding, caring, delightful human being, and obviously hygienic creature that we've seen before.
I've seen your boat, Judy.
I want to say one thing. Sarah, be wary of the perils of meddling with nature. It can be potentially disastrous. I've seen Planet of the Apes. I just think you want to think carefully before you go much further. And I ask you one thing. If you are holding him captive somewhere, the real brother, I beg you both to release him back into the wild. All he needs is a bottle of water, an loud shirt, a warehouse rave to go out and live out his days quietly. Somewhere for him to seek somewhere who will probably be exactly like someone who will be exactly like you, I would have thought. And I have messages, obviously. I have one message from Aaron and Tanika.
Hey!
You can't be here because they're riding out a hurricane in New York somewhere, and just couldn't make it back. What they say is, so sorry we couldn't be here to celebrate your special day, but with you in spirit. Congratulations. I've written this down, something I can read in my writing. We wish you a wonderful journey as you build your life together. And Aaron, not Tanika because she's desperate to dissociate herself from anything Toby rude, says, Simon, I do hope now you're married, there'll be less topless pictures of you on Facebook.
My chest alone.
And our friend Francis also says he's very glad he's not here, or he'd be subjecting you to more Bilbo Baggins activity.
Okay, fair enough.
That's it. I've got that one.
In fact, I say just from burglary. Okay, that's my defence. Okay. You see, valiant anyway. Right, okay, so thank you, Jules, I think,
Pleasure.
for your lovely words. But you can always count on an older sibling to look objectively at the person that you are now and not to judge you on the past, as you has clearly demonstrated. No, not. Along with the kind of tact, I think you'd agree with, and diplomacy, which would have made our grandmothers proud. Suffice to say, neither of our grandmothers were ever on call from the UN. Okay, so welcome to the happiest and most amazing day of Sarah's and my life. We are so pleased that so many of you have been able to come and see us, and finally see us finally join the realms of respectable marriage and adulthood. Okay, having spent years telling students now, but I'm Simon, not Mr. Green. Mr. Green's my dad, I always used to say. But standing in front of all of you now as Mr. Simon Elliott Greenfried, I realise I can no longer say that, and therefore I must be all grown up. We want to take this opportunity, and yes, sorry guys, this is the roses moment, okay? Well, okay, so we want to take this opportunity here to say thank you to everybody who's helped create, well, hopefully, with roses moment without too many crappy chocolates, because roses are horrible, but there are so many people here who've made it so wonderful. First of all, thank you to all our parents. That's Mum, that's Jill, that's Hans, that's Dad, that's Richard, okay? Thank you so much for helping us out here. Okay, you've helped us create what we hope, anyway, is an amazing day. Your outstanding generosity has made it possible. So thank you very, very much, parents. Take a bow, please. Thank you very, very, very much. Absolutely lovely. I would also like to say thank you to a very, very special person indeed to both Sarah and I. So much so, he's almost family, and he's proved his family in the fact he has produced the most amazing, gobsmackingly wonderful family trees. Mr. Robert of the tribe of Weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely astounding work. Astounding work. He did it all in Excel. I want to thank everyone who supplied the photos and the endless calls we made. And who's this person? When they were born? Are they still with us? Are they dead? Are they divorced? Are they separated? Can we speak to them in this hall? So thank you very much for your generosity and your information and for allowing us to gather those things together, because, you know, we will treasure those for always. And anyone who wants a copy, please let us know. Write your emails at the back of the guest book, and then we can actually send them on to you. Okay, so thank you. I want to say thank you very much to a person who unfortunately isn't here. I keep on turning my back to Tim, which is not fair because he's trying to capture this so he can use it against me in later years. Hey. But I want to thank Brian Black, Dr. Black, who's not actually here with us. He was going to be our Master of Ceremonies. He will always be our furry godfather. I met Brian on the first morning after Sarah and I met, and unfortunately, he managed to bugger up his foot by getting a foot infection whilst in the States. So he's over there now, banned from flying. So can we all have a big shout for Brian, please? Okay. But in his place, it's a just so sorry. We thought we'd stub him out, but no. Okay, we want to thank Rachel and Nahid and Freya and Julia for really stepping into the breach here. Woo! Really very appreciated. Thank you very much. Thank you. Where's Vanessa Owen? Where is the lovely Vanessa Owen? Can we find Vanessa? Vanessa Owen, please report. She'll be inside. Could someone find Vanessa for me? Vanessa Owen, please. You're right. Vanessa Owen. Vanessa Owen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most amazing person, besides Sarah, I've ever met. Every single wedding whim, every single wedding idea, some of which you have already seen, some of which you're going to see later, okay? But she has been so amazing. She really, really has. Dealing with Vanessa has been so straightforward. We've been pinging emails backwards and forwards, different colours for replies. She's been amazing. The food has been amazing, and the event here has been amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, Vanessa Owen, the best in
Yeah. We'll see you again very soon.
Oh, definitely.
The first anniversary party, yeah?
Oh, yes. Okay, now I should warn you, the moment has come. It's cheesy time. First of all, thank you for whichever spiritual being provided our rainbows earlier. Yeah. But I want to thank, first of all, okay, I want to thank my 3 dads. I want to thank my lovely Goody, my lovely Richie, and my lovely Hansie, in no particular order of importance. They are fantastic people, the 3 of them. And I've been going such an amazing example of how to conduct a beautiful married life with my own parents. So solid, so together, so evolving, and so strong, and beautiful. And then I arrived at Richard and Jill's house, having almost knocked myself out of my door handle whilst playing Trivial Pursuit on the day I fell asleep. And both she and both Richard and Hans later and Hannah, when I met them, and then all of the families have just made me feel like I've come home from the very first time I've met you all. You have been so gorgeous and so lovely and so warm, and it means so much to me. Family is everything to me, whether it be us as a now blood family or the family of people that are within the world generally. So to just see such a beautiful family coming together means the world. So thank you for all for being so wonderful. The O'Briens, the Freeds, the Shooters, the Greens, the Lauries, the Parks, everybody. Thank you very much indeed. But, oh, and the Humwicks and the Tongs, and God, there's so many things. Scott, everybody.
Lydiard.
Yeah. The Lydiards. You were an O'Brien once though, weren't you, mate?
Oh, about 45 years ago, yeah.
When you were 2?
Once an O'Brien.
Okay.
Once an O'Brien's.
The O'Briens, I think, you know, I really want to sort of say you're amazing people as well, because like Richard said, you guys aren't blood, but you are brilliant, absolutely brilliant, lovely, warm people who may as well be blood as I've said.
Richard's song.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Richard, I'm going to come to this. Richard, this album is not available in any shops, O'Brien. Wow. Not a dry eye in the house. I think we absolutely flooded the vestry today. It was beautiful. And I'll tell you what, Jill, as a mother-in-law, there will be no mother-in-law jokes in this. I've got the most amazing, fabulous mother-in-law in the entire world.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous. Our home is filled with original Jill objects, and she's there on the phone when I need her. She's amazing, absolutely amazing. And the thing which is so fabulous is where you spend Christmases together. Jill, Rich and Hans, one family, and it's fabulous. It's such a lovely family to spend time with, you know? Or December the 25th, Mum, okay? So, I want to also thank here, I want to thank Kaz, who's going to be performing for us in a bit. Marina, who's going to do a bit of performing for us in a bit of a secret nature. I don't know where Marina is either, but okay. I also want to thank, and now this really is the cheesy bit, the Kleenex moment, my wonderful, wonderful, wonderful wife, Sarah. I've done the speech now because Sarah has blown my socks off and folded them up and put them in the drawer. But no, she has so blown my socks off. She has, I'm lost for words. She is beyond doubt the most amazing, fantastic, caring, ethical, politically sound, brilliant, wonderful, gorgeous, sexy wife I could ever have wished for. I really have found my soulmate. And we are surrounded by such great examples of fabulous marriages. I hope we can emulate them. I really, really, really do. So thank you very, very much. I'm going to stop my blether now. I'm going to say thank you all very much for coming and making this such a special day. But only day one of a wonderful, wonderful continuation of a wonderful life together. And if you want to see the cheesy way we got together, can I remind you that there's family trees and the Sarah and Simon love story inside, and the strange but true bit inside, the guest book inside. And please, if you have taken photos, upload your pictures onto the photos so we're not nagging you for years, saying, where are they? So please, thank you all so much. Cheers, guys.
Tonight,
They are.
I am going to obviously be doing as good as possible a rendition of a speech as I can. Croak permitting, obviously. Those are things that Simon has already said, I echo, and I am going to have to actually read my speech a bit more closely than he did, because he is much better at ad-libbing than me. But that's no surprise, you know. The sort of compare, tour guide sort of host that teaching for many years. So I need to actually like talk right into it, don't I? So,
And come round to the camera, please.
oh yeah, see, I need to pose as well now. But with many thanks to Simon and to all the other tear-jerking speakers, there is not much like an ad after Simon's fabulous thorough Oscar acceptance speech, and that is probably a good thing as my voice isn't up for it. However, my heart is. It isn't traditional for the bride to speak, but I am not usually quiet. And I also, would have been just men speaking. That just doesn't seem right to an ardent feminist like myself, and of course Simon, who is an ardent feminist too.
He's been told to be, obviously.
Oh no, I'm joking.
Be careful. I echo Simon's thanks. We love you all. But I won't repeat the list of lovely, generous people who have helped make it all possible due to throat concern. I would like to add that everyone here has been amazing to know for years, or to get to know recently with Simon. It's really been such a lovely day, and every one of you has made it special. Thank you for all your presence, love, and all the kisses that I have had so far. There is more. I just need to turn the page and drop a leaflet. Oh no, oh, don't worry. Oh, bless. Thank you very much. Excellent. Okay, lovely. Okay, I'll take it. Okay, sorry for that brief interruption there, folks. Sorry. Just, adjusting ourselves.
It's only day one.
Of course, the most special ingredient of today, and the reason I'm doing all of this, is Simon himself. Simon is a prince among men. Before we had even met, I'd already started to fall in love with him. I always wanted to marry a warm, chatty, considerate, funny man with great ethics and principles, a socialist if possible, and Simon has given me all of this, as well as dazzling good looks. He is bouncy and enthusiastic, but deep and meaningful, and he can cheer me up as well as he can give me good advice. Before I met Simon, I was very self-sufficient and independent, always wanting to do things for myself, quite hectic, and not all great and relaxing unless I was horizontal. I was so busy that I found it hard to imagine how I could fit in a long-term boyfriend. I was cautious about relationships and not that willing to put up with crap or compromise more than was comfortable. Then came Simon, and it wasn't long before we knew that we couldn't live without each other. And I found that he slotted in so perfectly into my life that it was as if I'd known him for all of it. I dived into the relationship, and rather than scary and full of compromise, the water was lovely. Now with Simon, codependence is beautiful, much cosier, more practical and more fun. I'm really happy, ecstatic in fact, to now be Mrs. Sarah Ellen Greenfried and to have joined another lovely family. My only regret is that our surname would have been too long-winded if we had added in O'Brien.
We really wanted to do that.
Which we would have really ideally liked to do, in recognition of the 26 years that I've been part of that fantastic family also.
Thank you.
Without further ado, I think it's time to end the speeches. We've all had a waffle now, and if we can turn to a bit of the attention away from us, we can. We were going to do the birthdays now, so I'm just about to leap into the birthdays.
We've already done that.
We've done them. But happy birthday, everyone, again, because I didn't properly sing it earlier. So a proper happy birthday.
Okay.
And,
So
and that's.
what one thing we're going to do is, has everyone handed in their apologies?
Weekend,